My father disappeared from my mother's border in Bolivia and I would still look for her. My name doesn't matter, but she did. She was called Barcelona. On December 28, 2015, I lost my mother in Bermejo, Bolivia. She was a merchant who crossed the border between Bolivia and Argentina, carrying the weight of her family on the shoulders, without knowing that the real danger wasn't on the roads, but in her own house. During 22 years my mother lived a marriage that was a nightmare. Outside doors always had an eternal smile. She was a tireless worker like every Bolivian woman. And everyone loved her? But inside the house lived the terror with a name and an appeal. That demon was my father. He was beating her up and threatening her constantly. Shortly before disappearing, she confessed to several people the Calvary that suffered. He came in at night, and he put a trombone on his neck, saying that if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be for anyone. The last time he did it, one of my brothers saw him and he said, "Dad, what are you doing?" At that moment he pretended to feel bad, without saying a word that he was missing air, and they had to take him to the doctor to avoid his guilt. My father had already premeditated to disappear. 15 days before December 28, the Bolivian police warned that my mother was going to marry another couple and that he was not responsible for her leaving him. That father was his safety. He was in doubt and he left a lie. That's why when she disappeared, the police didn't look for a victim of the murder. They looked for an unfaithful woman who supposedly had escaped. The Bolivian system gave him the hand, the glove and the back of the victim. I left my origins and went to Buenos Aires. With the disappearance of my mother I had to travel 27 hours in collective from Buenos Aires with my broken soul. My father fed a fire in the patio with the clothes, shoes and posters of my mother, erasing any trace. I will always say it. He did not burn trash, he burned evidence that would send him to jail. When we faced her and we shouted the truth, she put on the mask of ignorance. I don't know anything, your mother left with another one. Repeat that until the 10th of August. However, the identity documents of my mother continue in the house, showing that she never planned to leave. She didn't do anything. The Vermojo police gave us the back, using white waters in Argentina. They told us that if we knew something about her, they would have told us, but she didn't come to cruises. And that this was a court of law, the Red Police. In that limbo of the border, he was left to live for me. Almost 10 years later, my father walks free on the same streets where he works. He believes that the fire has erased everything, but he could not burn my memory. He could not burn the fact that his children know who he is. I hope in hell he pays for what my mother did. While I have someone, justice will not have rest until we know the truth. I hope you can tell my story and I hope Mom appears. This is where it actually shifts. The last time he did it, one of my brothers saw him and he said, "Dad, what are you doing?" Est resumen fue para ti, espero que la idea haya cuidado clara, numbers vemos muy pronto, hasta la próxima.